Sexual desire can feel like a total mystery, right? Some days it's front and center, other days it feels like it's completely vanished. But what if I told you it's not random at all? It's actually a complex science, a biological dance that's happening inside you at this very moment. So today, let's break down what's really in control. I think we all know the feeling. Some days your sex drive is just there, and other days it's completely off the radar. Well, that roller coaster isn't just in your head. It's all down to this really precise biological balancing act that's happening inside your body, like all the time.
Okay, so the easiest way to think about this is with a dual control model. Imagine your desire system is like a car. You've got a gas pedal, an accelerator, to make it go, and you've got a brake pedal to slow it all down. And here's the thing. A healthy sex drive isn't just about flooring the gas pedal 24/7. It's all about the delicate dance between the two.
All right, so this whole system basically breaks down into two parts. On one side, you've got your go signals. These are the hormones and brain chemicals that hit the accelerator. And on the other side, you've got the stop signals, the inhibitory system that slams on the brakes. Let's kick things off with what's putting the foot on the gas.
All right, so what exactly are these hormones telling your body it's time to go? Well, there are a few big players here, and trust me, the first one might actually surprise you.
First up, testosterone. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've all been taught that this is the male hormone, but honestly, that is one of the biggest myths out there. The real story? Testosterone is the main drive hormone for every single one of us, powering our sexual thoughts and motivation, no matter our gender.
So how's it do it? Well, it's not just about motivation. It cranks up our brain's reward system by boosting dopamine, which makes sexual activity feel, more rewarding and worth going after. It also helps with physical arousal and even gives us that boost of energy and confidence that often goes hand in hand with desire.
Okay, next up is estrogen. And you can think of this one less as the driver of desire and more like the hormone that gets the whole scene set up for desire to even happen. It's all about creating the right context and comfort. Basically, estrogen is what makes sure everything is working smoothly and comfortably. It's absolutely vital for keeping genital tissues healthy, making sure there's enough blood flow, lubrication, and sensitivity. I mean, think about it. If sex isn't physically comfortable or even pleasurable, your brain's not going to be asking for more, right? This is a huge reason why, for many women, desire often peaks mid-cycle, exactly when estrogen levels are at their highest.
And yeah, we got to give a quick shout out to a couple of other key players. There's dopamine, the brain's motivation molecule that gets us to chase after good experiences. And of course, oxytocin, the famous love hormone, which floods our system during arousal and helps us feel close and bonded to our partner.
So that's the whole accelerator crew. But what about the other side of the equation? What about the brake pedal? Which hormones are telling the body to, cool it?
Well, the star player for Team Stop is progesterone. Its main job in this story is to balance out estrogen, and it generally has a calming, sometimes even a sedating, effect on our whole system.
And look, this isn't some kind of flaw in the system. It's totally by design. See, after ovulation, progesterone levels go up to get the body ready for a possible pregnancy. This hormonal shift naturally causes a dip in sexual interest because, from a purely biological point of view, the body's priorities have just shifted.
Okay, so we've got our accelerators, we've got our brakes, but what if I told you there's a kind of master regulator, something that has a hand on both? Well, researchers have recently put a spotlight on this incredibly powerful brain chemical called kisspeptin, and it might just be the key to this whole puzzle.
And that's what makes this so revolutionary. Kisspeptin isn't just another cog in the machine. It seems to be the central hub, the main switchboard that connects our emotional brain, our sexual brain, and our reproductive system, all at the same time.
So, how does this magic molecule work? Well, it's kind of like a triple threat. First, it makes our brains way more tuned in to attraction cues. What we see, what we smell. Second, it helps quiet down the parts of our brain that are responsible for self-consciousness and anxiety. And third, it directly fires up the brain's arousal and reward centers. It basically turns up the volume on the good stuff and turns down the noise on the bad.
But here's the thing. There's one factor that can just come in and override all of this. It's the one thing that can slam on the brakes harder than anything else we've talked about. And that, of course, is chronic stress.
And here's the most critical thing to get about stress. When your body feels like it's under constant threat, whether that's from work deadlines, money worries, you name it, it switches into survival mode. And from an evolutionary perspective, this is dead simple. When your body thinks you're running from a tiger, the last thing on its to-do list is reproduction. Survival always wins. The hormone driving this whole response is cortisol. Now, in a quick burst, it's a lifesaver. It's what helps you deal with an immediate threat. But when that stress just doesn't let up, when it becomes chronic, your cortisol levels stay high, and that's when it becomes a real problem for your sex drive.
And what happens next is this just devastating chain reaction. High cortisol isn't just tapping the brakes. It's like it's systematically taking apart the entire engine. It actively shuts down testosterone production, it throws the delicate balance of estrogen and progesterone into chaos, and it even burns through something called DHEA, which is basically the raw material your body needs to make sex hormones. In short, it shuts down the entire production line.
And the fallout from this, it hits you both psychologically and physically. Mentally, you're just distracted, exhausted, and not in the mood. And physically, that stress can lead to very real problems like vaginal dryness and pain, or reduced erectile quality. The mind and body are absolutely 100% connected here.
Listen, this is probably the most important thing to take away from all this. If your desire has tanked under the weight of stress, it is not a personal failing. You are not broken. It is a completely predictable, logical, biological response. Your body is just trying to protect you from what it sees as a threat.
So when you boil it all down, our desire is just this constant, dynamic balancing act. It's this incredible dance between the accelerators, like testosterone and estrogen, and the brakes, like progesterone, and, of course, the big one, the stress hormone cortisol.
And you know, really getting a handle on this balance, it just opens up so many incredible new doors. As science gets better and better at pinpointing these super specific chemical pathways, like with kisspeptin, it really makes you wonder, right? What does this mean for the future of treating sexual dysfunction, and maybe even for the future of human connection itself?